For years, I was the family punchline, the convenient afterthought at every holiday gathering, the reliable one, always there with a gift and a smile, even when the smile was forced. But this holiday, when they pointed me to a chair in the dusty, unheated shed while they feasted inside, they didn't realize something crucial. I'd finally brought a receipt for all their disrespect, and the bill was about to come due. Before I tell you how a co-signer agreement for an apartment blew up my family's holiday, if you love stories where the quiet ones finally find their voice, make sure you subscribe. This one's a slow burn with a very satisfying finish. My name is Daniel, I'm 32, and I work in tech support. Solid, if not flashy. I've been financially independent since I left home at 22, never asked my family for a dime. Yet, I was always the backup plan, useful, but never truly welcome. It started small. Thanksgivings where my name card read Ethan, met with laughter and a dismissive wave from my mother, Eleanor. The next year, no name card at all. "Oh, we figured you'd sit near the kids," she'd said. Christmas gifts devolved into gag presents. A World's Okayest Brother mug was a highlight, while everyone else got thoughtful, registry-perfect items. I swallowed it year after year, because who wants to be the one to make the holidays awkward? But this year was different. Maybe it was the peace I'd found in my own quiet life, a life that no longer needed their validation. I walked into their sprawling suburban home, arms full of beautifully wrapped presents, and saw them all. Mom, Dad, my brother Liam, and his new fiancée, Ava. Cousins, even Whiskers, the family cat perched on a velvet cushion at the dining table. Laughter, clinking glasses, name cards meticulously placed. And then I saw my spot. Not at the table. In the shed. An old lawn chair. No plate, no name card. Just a paper napkin and a lukewarm mug of cider on a metal workbench. "That's your seat, honey," Mom said, not even turning from her toast to Liam and Ava, who'd just gotten engaged. "Figured you'd be more comfortable out there. The dining room's a bit full." Liam grinned, like this was the best joke ever. "Hey, even Whiskers made the table before you, bro!" Laughter rippled around the room. Even Dad managed a weak chuckle. I stood there, holding the rare first-edition book I'd spent weeks hunting down for Liam. A shared love from our childhood, for the days when we still felt like brothers. I didn't explode. I didn't make a scene. I walked to the tree, placed the gift among the others, and quietly stepped back. My cousin Maya shot me a tiny, sympathetic shrug. She was always the most decent one. Then I noticed it. Every plate, even the cat's bowl, had a carefully handwritten name tag. Liam's was tucked neatly under his charger. And that's when the plan I'd half formed, more as a mental safety net than a real strategy, clicked into sharp focus. Just 2 weeks prior, Liam had cornered me. He and Ava were applying for a trendy new downtown apartment and needed someone with good credit to co-sign. "Just temporary, Dan, until the paperwork clears," he'd pleaded, while Mom launched into her usual family helps family guilt trip. Against my better judgment, I'd agreed, but with one very specific condition. I drafted a formal co-signing agreement. It was all there. Terms, deadlines, and a crystal-clear clause stating I could pull out of the agreement if certain conditions weren't met, including, and I quote, "public humiliation or mistreatment during a family gathering." Liam, in his usual haste, had signed it without reading a word. I turned to him now, my coat still on. "Liam," I said, my voice calm and even, "make sure you read what's under your plate." He blinked. "What?" I didn't repeat myself. I just walked towards the front door. I heard someone flip over a name card. A confused murmur. Then louder, "Liam, what is this? Did you sign this?" Someone else began reading the clause aloud. "In the event of public humiliation or mistreatment." Chaos erupted. Mom snapped, "What is this nonsense?" Liam shouted, "He can't do that, can he?" Chairs scraped. Voices rose. I kept walking. Halfway down the driveway, a scream. Not rage, pure panic. I didn't stop. The cold night air felt clean, honest. I slid into my car, shut the door, muting the sounds of their implosion. My phone buzzed. "Liam." "What is this?" "Mom." "This isn't funny, Daniel. You're ruining Christmas." I muted it. They'd figure it out. The document under Liam's plate wasn't a prop. I'd emailed a signed, witnessed copy to my lawyer friend Olivia the day Liam signed it. The banished to eat separately was literally listed as an example of public humiliation. I hadn't truly believed I'd need it. I ended up at a diner on the edge of town, cheap coffee, a waitress named Brenda who called me sweetheart, turkey sandwich and fries. My phone was a storm of notifications. Dad, come back and explain this nonsense. Liam, undo it. Right now. I already paid the deposit. Mom, he's just upset, Daniel. Don't make this bigger than it is. The shift in tone was almost comical. No more jokes. Now they wanted me to fix their mess. I didn't reply. Then a private text from Maya. You okay? That was brutal, but deserved. I'm fine, I typed back. Thanks for not laughing. A heart emoji was her reply. In moments like these, you see who's really on your side, or at least who's not actively against you. Back in my quiet apartment later, I saw the signature apple crumble pie I'd baked for their dinner. I was the only one who enjoyed baking. I sliced a piece. My phone buzzed, ignored. The cosigner withdrawal would auto-process by morning. Liam and Ava would be apartmentless unless they had a backup. They didn't. I was the backup, always. The next morning, 14 missed calls, voicemails angrier than the last. I deleted them unheard, made coffee, and checked my email. Confirmation from Olivia. The withdrawal was official. Liam's deposit was non-refundable unless he found another qualified cosigner by 5 p.m. the next day, a holiday weekend. Not happening. Around noon, Maya called. It was bad last night, Dan. After you left, Mom lost it. Screamed at Liam for not reading what he signed. Then at Dad for not stopping you. Liam kept saying it was a joke. You were being sensitive. Then she said something that floored me. But then your letter, the envelope under his plate. You left a second thing, right? What letter? I asked, confused. I'd only left the agreement. Someone found an envelope taped under the table, she continued, and to Liam in red ink. Inside was a copy of that book picture you gifted him, but it was torn in half. On the back, it said, "Yo, we used to be brothers. Now you're just paperwork." I almost dropped my mug. I didn't write that, Maya. I didn't even use red ink. A pause. That's weird, because it was definitely your handwriting. Everyone thought it was part of your revenge. Liam lost it completely, started tearing up gifts. Your mom started crying. It was like they actually saw you for the first time and couldn't handle it. Whoever left that second note, they gave me the best, albeit unsettling, exit. Later, an email from Ava, Liam's fiancée. I almost deleted it. Evan, it began. She used my real name, not Ethan. I'm sorry for how we treated you. I saw how uncomfortable you looked. Liam made it sound like you were overreacting, but the way you left, I've never seen him scared like that. I think you did the right thing. An apology from the one person who arguably owed me the least. I didn't reply. The messages from my family turned desperate. Mom, don't do this to your brother. Liam, you're seriously ruining my future over a chair? Dad, you made your point. Come fix this. Fix it. No. That Daniel, the fixer, the appeaser, was gone. Vanished somewhere between the shed and those damning name cards. But I wasn't quite done. There was one more move, one they wouldn't anticipate. I waited until the following morning, composed a polite email to the apartment leasing manager, Mr. Davies, CCing Olivia and Ava, formal confirmation of my withdrawal from the cosigner agreement due to contract breach, public humiliation. 5 minutes later, his reply, received and acknowledged, application marked incomplete, deposit non-refundable, pending appeal or new guarantor by 5 p.m. today. Ava called, breathless, apologetic. Is there any way you'd consider reversing it, just for a day? I could hear Liam yelling in the background, Don't beg this guy, this is manipulation. That familiar, entitled whine. I'm not doing this to punish you, Ava, I said quietly, but you both knew the terms. I didn't know about that clause, she whispered. I sent him 2 copies, one for him, one for you. He said he'd share it. Silence. Then, He never did. "I'm sorry you're in the middle of this, Ava," I said, meaning it. "You've been more decent to me in 48 hours than my family has in years, but I can't undo this." Then she said something that truly caught me off guard. "You were never the problem, Daniel. Kyle's always been the favorite, and still, he resents you for just existing. I think I've been making a mistake, not just about the apartment, about the man I agreed to marry." I just told her she deserved someone who didn't keep her in the dark. After that call, I pulled up another document, Grandpa's trust fund ledger. He'd left a modest inheritance, split between me and Liam, dispersed quarterly until we hit 35. Until then, I was the executor. Grandpa trusted me. "Olivia," I said on the phone, not touching the principal, "but can I pause Liam's access to quarterly interest based on conduct?" "Absolutely," she confirmed. "The trust terms give you discretion. Document it properly." I signed the forms. Liam's access was frozen. He'd used the last payout for a down payment on a flashy new sports car and was planning to use the next for a lavish European vacation he'd boasted about at Thanksgiving, mocking me for not enjoying life until I was ancient. Now that deposit would never arrive. Not unless I signed off, and I had no intention of doing so. That evening, Dad called. No yelling, just tired. "Your mother's been crying all day. She says she didn't mean it, didn't realize how far things had gone." Silence from my end. "Liam's furious. Says you're ruining his life over a seat at the table." "Are you?" "Dad," I finally said, "it wasn't just the seat. It was her pointing to a shed chair like it was normal. Liam joking. You sipping your drink and looking at the wall. Years of it." "I didn't know," he mumbled, my jaw clenched. "You didn't want to know." Quietly, "I guess I thought you didn't mind." That hurt. My endurance mistaken for acceptance. "Well, I did," I said simply. "And now I don't." He just wished it hadn't come to this. "Me too," I replied. But it did. A few days later, Maya texted, "Check this. A GoFundMe. Help Liam and Ava save their dream home." Grainy photo, sob story about a jealous family member's heartbreaking betrayal. They'd raised a few $100s, mostly from clueless family friends. Jealous? Really? I could have sued for defamation. They used my full name. Instead, I wrote a single, calm, factual public post. Outlined the cosigner agreement, the Met condition, my legal withdrawal. Stated I wasn't jealous, owned my own home debt-free. Pointed out using my name without consent was a legal violation. Wished them well, but stated it was time my family learned kindness isn't weakness and silence isn't permission. It went viral within our extended circles. The GoFundMe vanished. Messages poured in, cousins, old friends, even some of Liam's buddies, saying they'd seen it coming, admired me for finally standing up. Then, a message from Ava. "He lied to me, Daniel. About everything. The paperwork, you, the money. He said you were bitter. Now I see he's the one using everyone. I called off the wedding, moving in with my sister. Thank you for showing me who he really is. I hope you find peace. You've earned it." I sat with that for a long time. Closure, not revenge. Peace. Christmas passed. New Year's. No word from my parents or Liam. I hosted a small New Year's Eve dinner. Maya came, a few friends. We ate my apple crumble pie, laughed. I gave Maya the restored book about brothers. "That version of us doesn't exist anymore," I told her. That night, for the first time in years, I woke on January 1st feeling free. No more shed seats. No more biting my tongue. No more playing the good son while being treated like an afterthought. The cold didn't last forever. Sometimes it just clears the air.